Hi everyone, welcome to the session. Let's warm up. Okay, so feet hip width apart, come tall, engage the core, and we're going to start off warming up our head, neck and shoulders. So looking over one shoulder and bringing the head horizontally, looking over the other shoulder. And back. And back. Now, this time come to the front, drop the chin towards the chest and come back up to neutral. If you're happy to, come a little bit further, tilt the chin in the air and drop down again. So don't move the shoulders, don't lose your height in the body, just moving the neck and the head. Last one. Come back to neutral. Now this time we're touching ear towards shoulder. So ear goes down laterally and then the other side. So key to this one is to keep the shoulders down. It's the ear that's moving, it's the head and neck that's moving, not the shoulders coming up towards the ear. So last two. Excellent, so let's work on the shoulders, shrugging those shoulders forward first of all. So shrugging forward, really getting those shrugs to be quite deep and moving the whole of the shoulder blades round. And now go back the other way, so we're shrugging the shoulders backwards, keeping the body tall and not swaying in the hips at all. So really shrug the shoulders now up towards the ears, move them round and squeeze them at the back. Okay, same movement again, starting forwards but small arm movements, bringing the arms in. Really watch that you're not swaying at the back or arching the lower back at all. Make those movements bigger, so we're drawing bigger circles until we're going as big as we possibly can. So stretching, stretching, stretching in that forward movement. And now the circle's getting smaller once again. Keeping the arms out to the side, we're going to draw circles back the other way. So again, making the circles bigger, keeping the body still and just using the rotation through the shoulders. So excellent, as big a circles as you possibly can. Light backstroke, really stretching through without moving the hips or trying not to sway the hips too much. 3 and 2 and 1. Excellent work. Moving on down the body, we're going to start mobilizing the hips. So feet hip width apart, start doing a bit of a hula hoop here. Small hulas at first. This is really working the hips and the lower back now. So starting to go just a little bit bigger. And we draw really big circles with hips out the back, round to the sides. 2 more and then we'll change direction. So here we go, round the other way. Starting off quite small, getting your body used to this motion. And now building up into something a bit bigger. Hips really out the back, really round the sides. 2 more circles. 2 and 1. Now, resetting those feet hip width apart, we're going to just roll down. So my head, my neck, my upper back, my middle back, and my lower back, all rolling down towards the floor. Stop at the point where it gets stiff or uncomfortable for you. Hang there, breathe, and now roll back up again, starting with the lower back, through middle back, upper back, shoulders, neck, and finally head. Let's go again. So starting with the head, neck, shoulders, upper back, middle back, lower back. Hold at the bottom point, whatever your bottom point is, it doesn't matter. Breathe into that, engage the core as we roll back up through the lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, neck, and head. Great work. One hand on the hips, we're going to work the obliques. Other hand up in the air. Stretch it high. 3 pulses. And swap arms. 3 pulses this way. Don't move the hips. It's all about the body. 3, 2, 1. Last time this way. 3, 2, 1. Now can you clasp both hands lightly to the front and go with both hands up. 1, 2, 3. Go again. 1, 2, 3. Last time in the obliques. 1, 2, 3. Use those obliques to come up. Now, clasp the hands lightly at around chin height. We're going to do some squats. So weight now slightly in the heels as we start with a small range of motion. So I'm hinging from my hips. I'm pushing my hips out the back so that when I look down, my knees are not going forward at my toes. I'm keeping my spine neutral, so I'm keeping my chest up and I'm looking at my hands that are at my chin level. And lastly, pressing through my heels, I'm working the back of the body, the posterior chain. So I'm working the calves, the hamstrings, and the glutes. Now let's see if we can go just a little bit deeper for the last 3, and 2, and 1. Now can we do that same thing with our legs just a little bit wider? Make sure the feet are slightly turned out. Make sure when you flex the knees that they're tracking over the toes, and we're going to go again just for 6 squats. So deep as you can and up. We're working into the hips this time. 2 and 3. Feel it around the hip area, really pushing out and extending that range of motion. That's 4 and 5 and 6. Excellent work. Bringing the feet back together, we are going to take a very small step back. As we do so, we're going to lift the arms up and we're going to use the core to stop the arms going back any further. But we're not going to arch the back, so keep that spine neutral. Are you ready? So we're gaining momentum, and as we step back, alternate legs each time. A little bit of momentum as we step back and our arms come up and the core engages to stop the arms going any further. You should feel a small pull on the core and the core should be engaged. 2 more that we're going to add on. I'm going to step back to the side now so the obliques come in. So I'm going about 45 degrees backwards now. Back. So do another 4. Really engage the core and the obliques to get us back up. Last 2 and last 1. Fantastic. Now from here, small kicks, almost leading with your heels. So we're working on the hamstrings now. We're pulling up and pushing that heel long so we can stretch and start working those hamstrings. Now, can we go a little bit deeper? Can we come through and start touching foot to hand? It doesn't matter if you can't, but just twist, 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 twist. 3, 2, 1, and down. Fantastic work. So let's just work a little bit on the knees, feet together. Just start going small rotations round. Just a little bit, just feel it going round the knees and round the other way. Excellent. Now we're going to do some hip hinges. These are specifically for the glutes. So I'm turning sideways on, you don't have to. My feet are hip width apart. My knees are soft, my legs are long, but I'm not locked out. I'm slightly soft in the knees. My hands are on my hips. And as I lean forward and hinge from the hips, my hips come back and I'm keeping my spine long. I'm looking just a little bit ahead of me So I'm keeping my spine long, I'm not looking down and hunching. I'm lengthening my spine away, maximising the distance between the top of my head and my coccyx, squeezing to the glutes and the core to come up. So 4 more of those. So we're dropping down, engage the glutes, and up. Down, engage to stand. 2 more. Down, engage to stand. Last one. Down, engage those glutes, and stand up. So can we work the hips in a slightly different way, getting a little bit further apart, a wide stance? We're just going to do gentle lateral lunges. Now, same rules apply, that our knees should not be going too much further than the end of our toes. So just gentle lunges, just warming up the hips in this direction. We're only doing another 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're just going to warm up a little bit more in terms of warming up our body and getting our heart rate up. So a little jogging on the spot. Now, can we, from this gentle jogging, just start putting in a little bit more vigour, a little bit faster? So come on, we're not going to do this for too long, but we are going to try and get that heart rate and that breathing up. So now really fast little feet. We're going to go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But keep going. Keep going gently. This time bring the knees up. So keeping going. Keep those arms pumping as we lift the knees as high as we can. Again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we can stop that now. So, we're now breathing a little bit faster. Our bodies are a little bit warmer. We're preparing for the session. Last thing we need to do is just get our bodies used to a little bit more explosive power. So we're going to start with backwards lunges. So a standard backward lunge, keeping the body upright, weight even between front and back feet. Now this is great, but we need that power in there. So what now if we were to start adding some small jumps? Hands can be anywhere you want, as we just jump, jump. Small jumps, just to bring a little bit of power and explosion here. 4, 3, 2, 1. The same finally with squats. Feet hip width apart, small squat and up, small squat and up. Add some jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well done. Shake the body off, and hopefully we're warm. Let's start that session. See you there. Hi everyone, welcome to step 1. So, I'll just start the clock and we're going to start standing with sumo squats. So I'll start the clock and you put your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Are you ready? Here we go for 50 seconds. So coming down, pushing up. So my feet slightly wider than hip width. My weight is in my heels. I'm hinging at my hips. And each time I go down, I'm trying to go just a little bit further, but as ever working the posterior chain of my body. So leaning into my heels slightly and pushing into them, I'm working my calves, my hamstrings, and my glutes. And by keeping my knees pointing outwards, I'm working into the hips, and I'm really stretching those hips as well. We've got 10 seconds left. At the end of this, we're going to go onto the mat on all fours for a bear stand. So bear walk. Okay, so a bear walk. All fours, but our knees off the ground. So if your ankles don't like it, try going on the wrists. We're going to move forward, back, forward, back. So all we're doing for this one is swaying, keeping the spine neutral, weight in heels, weight in hands. Weight in heels, weight in hands. So it's a little bit tough on the wrists, but go as far as you can. We're halfway through. So rock back, really feel those hips opening, keep the knees wide. This is all about strength and form. We've got 10 seconds left. And from here, we're going onto our backs for some curl-ups. Here we go. So onto our backs on the mat, hands on the thighs and curling the head, neck, shoulders off the floor and down we go. So 50 seconds just started, curl up and down, engaging that core. Really squeeze up and down, squeeze up and down. Now with any of these strength exercises, you can go at your speed. You can add more vigor, more range of motion. This is your time. We're halfway through this section. So squeezing up and down. I'm going to take it quite steadily so you can see my form. This isn't cardio. As I said, it's strength. All about developing our strength and our power. 10 seconds. Then we're going to stand up again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we've got our 10 seconds between each exercise. We're coming back up to standing, back to those sumo squats with a bit of an add-in. Here we go. So squatting down, hands down, jump left, jump right, to the middle, stand. So it's a bit of a monkey. Jump, 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 and stand. Down, jump, jump, to the middle, and stand. Back up, we're halfway. So jump, jump, here we go, pushing up. Down again, jump, jump, and push up. We've got 15 seconds. Up. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go back down on the mat for our bear walk position. Here we go. So 3, 2, 1. We're going to lift the knees off the floor. This time, alternate arms and legs. So my hand comes off, leg comes off. Alternate. Again, please just watch your wrists on this one. You can always go gorilla with them like that, or if necessary, you can rest on a chair, or rest the forearms on a chair as long as that chair is stable and not on wheels. We're well past halfway now. And from here, we're going onto the mat for a roll up. So keep going, opposite arm, opposite leg. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so 10 seconds to change over. We're going onto our backs. This time, we're going to lift our abdominals off the mat. Here we go. So up and down. So roll up, roll down. It's all about lifting the abs off. Use that core now. You can have straight legs if you want, or bent legs, it doesn't matter. Pushing slightly and supporting ourselves with the hands, and make sure that you're not putting too much strain between your shoulder blades, especially on your lower neck. So we're 15 seconds to go. Engage that core to lift you up, roll you down. So down with control. Down with control. 3, 2, 1, and we're changing over. Stand back up again, the 3rd time round. So back to those squats, those sumo squats. We're adding a jump. So jump, jump. Take it steady. Of course, we've got 50 seconds of this. So obviously you don't need to jump. If you don't want to, you can stop at any level you want. We are opening up the hips. We're exploding. We're using just a little bit of power as we explode up and control down. We're halfway. So stop at any time. Don't forget you can grab water at any time throughout this. Stop the tape. Don't stop the tape. Let me carry on. 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're down for the final bear crawl. Now here we go. I'm moving this way because we're going to be walking. So here we go. Knees off. Alternate arm, alternate leg. About 4 steps forward, 4 steps back. Keep the bottom down. 1, 2. Must be opposites at the same time. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We're halfway. Hopefully I'm not disappearing too far off the screen. But just keep going backwards and forwards as many steps as works for the space you've got. We've got 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Last exercise for this set. We're on our backs, we're just on our sides, and we're going to do side crunches. 25 seconds, swapping over. So legs, knees and ankles clasped together. Rolling, I'm on my side and I'm looking up at the ceiling and I'm just lifting my body and crunching up through the obliques. We've got 8 seconds. Crunching up. You should feel it through the side of the body. Change sides. So I'm just swapping round to look at the camera. You just roll over. Look at the ceiling. We've got 15 seconds left. That's the first set. We'll be done. So hinge up as high as you can. You might need to alter your position slightly to really feel it in those obliques. In 3, 2, 1. Brilliant work. That was the first set done. See you for set 2. Hi everyone, welcome to set 2. We're going to start standing, then we're on our side, so we're going to need to do a quick change around at the 25-second point, and then we're on our back for some bridges. 50 seconds each exercise, 10 seconds between. 9 times, so another 9 minutes worth of work. Are you ready? We are starting with the single leg deadlift. 25 seconds one side, 25 seconds the other. Here we go. So single leg deadlift. I'm doing it on my side, one leg out the back. Hands on hips as we lean forward. I've got a pivot through here, whatever my body does, my leg does. Keep that rear foot pointing back, stretching that spine long. Soft supporting leg. One more. And now swap legs. The more that you engage the core, the more that you will not wobble, unlike me. So keep going down, keeping that supporting leg soft. Stretch the head away. We've got 10 seconds left. Stretching away. Arms wherever you want them to make it easy. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So down on the mat, we are going to do a side move, a hip raise. So I'm on my forearms, I'm pushing my bent knee into the mat, my hip comes to the ceiling and I'm opening out. So really push that hip to the ceiling. You should feel it in the outer thighs. So as I open up, as I lift my hip up, I'm opening up this upper leg. So I'm really feeling it, working the outer part of both legs. Swap sides now. You may wish just to turn over. I'm turning around to face the camera. Off we go again. So push those hips up. Really push with that lower knee. Get that hip as high as you can. So we've got 10 seconds left. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. From here, we're going onto our back. We're going into a bridge position. So I've got my heels fairly near the body. My back is relaxed. Tilt the pelvis towards us. Push up in the heels and up to a bridge. So my weight is between my shoulder blades. Here we go, keeping the hips high. Just walk. So marching bridge. Don't over push the hips up, because otherwise you'll arch the lower back. So keep a straight line between knees, hips and shoulders. If you want to add just a little to this, take the arms and cross them over the shoulders. So we've now removed stability. We've got 15 seconds left. Keep those hips high. If you don't want to march, just drop the hips, push them up. Drop them, push them up. Either way, keeping the hips stable and the core very much engaged. 2, 1, and down. We're coming back up again. This time for the second of the single leg deadlifts. We're going to go with our arms above our heads. I've got my thumbs interlocked, arms by ears, leaning forward, one leg stretching the hands away from the leg. Engage the glutes to come back up. Remember, the supporting leg is soft, so the knee isn't locked out. And come up, keeping everything in tension. One more. And now swap sides. So if you don't want your arms long like this, it is quite challenging, just bring them out into a T position like that. If they are long, keep them by your ears, so you're forming a long line through the body. We've got 6 seconds left. We're going back down on the mat. Woo! And we're going to do a long side plank. So, side planks, either on our knees or 2 legs out. We're on our forearms, drop and up. So this is hip drops. Just plain hip drops at the moment, utilising the obliques. So really stretch that arm long. We've got another 6 seconds this side, then we swap sides. 3, 2, 1, and swap. So remember, you can be on your knees or long legs. So off we go again. So drop and up, drop, up. So we've got 15 seconds. Push those hips towards the ceiling. Excellent work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. What have I got next? A bridge heel drops. Lovely. So, coming here, going into our bridge, we're going to bring one leg to the ceiling. Keep the hips high, tap, up, same leg, same leg. A little bit of vigor, but keep the hips high and pointing to the ceiling. We've got another 6 seconds this leg. If you want to, of course, bend the leg. You don't have to keep it straight. 3, 2, 1, swap sides. Reset those hips, and down and up, down, up, down, up. So bent legs or straight legs. We've got 10 seconds left. Feel it very much in the glutes and the hip flexors. Keep moving at your pace. Great work. Last set of 3. So we are coming to the single leg deadlift again, a small add-on. As we come forward, as we come back, we're not going to put our foot down, we're going to raise it up to the front. So out and up and out long, pushing the toe and the hands away. One more, and now change leg. So coming out, single leg deadlift, engage through the glutes and the core, bring the knee up to hip height. Out again, hinge through, and up. We've got 8 seconds left, time for one more. Hinging through, and up. Excellent work, 10 seconds break. Fantastic. So, we are down onto our sides for hip drops in star. So same hip drops this time. We're in a star position. Down, up, down, up. 25 seconds each leg. Keep lengthening through that arm, pressing through the whole of that leg. It can be bent, you can be on your knees. We've got 5 seconds this side. 3, 2, and change. So long line or knee, doesn't matter, but we're in a star. You of course can take it whatever level you want. Hip drop and up, hip drop and up. That was a bit of a flop, wasn't it there? 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Last thing, we are in a bridge. So get into your bridge position, tilt the pelvis towards us. Here we go, last 50 seconds. So straight line, resting between my shoulder blades. Foot comes up, taps 45 degrees to the side, comes back up and down. Other leg, 45 degrees to the side, up and down. So I'm alternating legs here. It's hard to do too many of these on one leg. Just do normal taps if you want, but keep the hips high. Tap down, up, down, up, tap, down, down, up. 10 seconds to go. So my foot tapping slightly out to 45 degrees, working the inner and outer thigh. Excellent work. Hips down. And time to have a break. And that's the end of the second set. Well done. Hi, welcome to set 3. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 9 times, 9 minutes worth of work with about a minute between this and the next set. We're going to start standing. We're going to go down onto our fronts to do a downward pike, and then we're going to go onto our backs to do windscreen wipers. So standing, prone, supine. Okay, ready to go. So we're going to do sideways lunge and back. So lunge, push back. This is all about power. Lunging out, explode. Lunge and explode. Alternate legs. Lunge and explode. Lunge and explode. So we're halfway there. So ready, push, down and push. We'll be adding on to this next cycle round. So down and really explode. This one's all about the power, but still keeping good form in the lateral lunges by not letting the knees go too much further than the toes. We've got 6 seconds left. We're going to go down on the mat to downward dog or downward facing pike. So we're going to do a pike, and we're going to start off like this. Okay, so heels down in the pike position. We roll forward into a plank, knee touch, opposite knee touch, then back and back to plank. So forward, opposite, forward, pike. Now if you don't like long line planks, please go on your forearms, or again you can rest on a chair. I'm doing alternate legs, swapping between forward, the opposite, forward, pike. 10 seconds to go. Keeping that line of the plank going. 4, 3, 2, there we go, 10 seconds left. So we're into windscreen wipers on our backs. Arms out into a T, legs in the air, keeping one leg up, drop one leg to the side, engage the inner thigh to bring it back up. Now that's all it is. It's not actually all because it's quite challenging, but this is as difficult as it gets for this one. So 25 seconds, in fact no, 50 seconds, we're doing just one leg. So coming down, and up, halfway there. So pull up on the inner thigh, keeping those hips pointing towards the ceiling. Don't roll them, just use the inner thigh, and you should find that using it, engaging the core, it's beginning to feel a little bit tired. We've got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're standing up again. We're going to add on to those lateral lunges. This time when we explode up, we're going to end up with our knee upwards. Here we go, 50 seconds. Down, up, down. Explode, hold, down. Down, push, explode, control. So it's explosion and that control takes a lot of coordination in the body, but also to explode up and then control that movement to dampen it. We're halfway. So down, explode. Down the other side, explode, hold. So at any stage, just stop at the previous level. Down. We've got 10 seconds left. So down to the side, explode up. Down to the side, explode, hold. 3, 2, 1. Down on the mats now. We're going for that downward dog position. This time, instead of inside touch, we're going to go external touch. So get that downward pike. Come forward to a plank, knee to elbow. Up. So the knee is on the outside of the elbow. So this gives us a great opportunity to really think about the position of the plank we're holding. Is the back long? Is the core engaged? Have we got a straight line between the shoulder, the hips and the ankles? Is my back long? Am I looking slightly ahead? I'm alternating knees each time. If you don't want to do this plank lift, then obviously don't. Just come backwards and forwards, equally good without doing that. Lovely. Now, other leg on the windmill. I'm just changing sides. Both legs come into the air. Hands in a T position. My other leg is now dropping down and I squeeze it up. So keep those hips pointing towards the ceiling and engage that inner thigh to lift the foot back up. Now keep the foot pointing towards you rather than twisting it out, because the body is going to want to try and make it a bit easier by perhaps using some of the bigger quad muscles, not the adductor muscles, the inner thigh. 15 seconds to go. Keep on this one leg. Keep stretching. If you can feel it pulling or it starts hurting in the inner thigh, don't move as far or stop. It's a set of muscles that perhaps aren't always as well used as we could do. Fantastic. Right, we are standing up for the last set, the last iteration of these 3 moves, this time bringing in a jump. So we're lunging, jump, power, explode. So 2 sets of power. Power, explode, power, explode. So power, power both times. So push, explode, and hop. Push, and hop. Push, and hop. Push, powerful move. Think of your form in the lunges. Keeping the body as upright as possible. We've got 5 seconds. Really put in the power if you want to. There we go, we're down on the mat for the last downward pike. This time we're doing a Spider-Man. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. So coming through into plank, bringing a foot up to the hand into Spider-Man and doing 5 pulses of the hips. Coming back up, other foot and 5 pulses. So just continue doing that, alternate legs. This is a great one for upper body strength if you get into the downward pike, but also for mobilizing the hips. So keep pushing when you come into that pike, push the heels down, then pulse. Keeping that back long. Pulse down, stretching through the legs. Here we go. Last exercise of this set. Onto our backs, hands out to a T, legs in the air. It's going to be a windmill, but with both legs together. So dropping them down and coming back up, using those obliques. Dropping them down and using those obliques to come up. So you go as far as you want to go for this. It is not an easy exercise. You're really using the lower core and the obliques. You can, of course, bend the knees. They don't need to be straight, so if it works for you better to go like this, of course you can. Less leverage, so there's less length in the lever, so it's slightly more forgiving. But the other thing is don't dig the head and shoulders into the mat. In 4 and 3, 2, 1. There we go. Well done. That's the end of set 3. I'll see you for set 4. Hello and welcome to set 4. We're going to be starting standing for some reverse lunges. We're going to go down onto the mat to hold a plank, and then we're going to go on our backs for some Hello, welcome to set 4. We're going to start standing for reverse lunges. We're going to go down onto the mat on our fronts to hold a plank, and then we're going to go on our backs in a crab position. And each time we do these moves, we will develop them a little bit further. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 9 exercise. Another 9 minutes of work. Are you ready to go? Here we go. So 50 seconds, we are doing standard reverse lunges. So keeping my body upright, I'm looking straight ahead. I'm doing alternate legs. My weight is slightly in the heel of my front foot, and I'm concentrating on form, keeping my hips level so I'm not swaying over. Oops, difficult if you sway over. So keep those hips level. We've got 20 seconds left. So keep looking, just standard reverse lunges. Then we're coming back down, and we're coming down for the plank position in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 10 seconds to change over. We are coming into a plank. The plank is a forearm plank. It can either be, here we go, on knees, or it can be on toes, whichever you work, but it's a straight line, so engage the core. For this plank, you can either hold it for 50 seconds, or you can reach out to the front, out to the sides. So the body sways slightly. Get those feet slightly wider than hip width apart to give you stability. So shoulders back away from the ears. Keep moving and punching out. We've got 20 seconds left. This one is on the forearms. because the next exercise is using the wrists. We've got 10 seconds. Keep holding that core. 2 and 1. Excellent work. So we are in what's called the crab position. My fingers are pointing towards my toes, coming up to a crab. My shoulders are back and my hips are high. Now just start gently pulsing the hips. My head is in as natural a position as you can possibly get in this while being here. My weight is slightly in my heels. Now I'm going for right hip, left hip, right hip, left hip. We've got another 30 seconds of swinging through those hips, squeezing into each glute and keeping the hips high. So just concentrate on good form. My feet are around hip width apart, as are my knees, and we've got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Lower down. We're getting back up. This time we're doing forward lunges, and we're doing forward lunges with rotation. Off we go. So forward lunge, rotate, that and back. Forward lunge. So that's what we're doing. Forward lunge. Think about the form. Hips level. 30 seconds left. Shoulders down away from the ears. As big a lunge as you want it to be, but not really thrusting the hips forward, keeping the spine neutral. We've got 12 seconds with control. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent work. So we're down into that plank again. You can be definitely on forearms, but can be on knees or long legs. So get that plank position. Hold that long line. Squeeze and push the crown of the head away from the heels. Hold here. Don't drop the hips. Keep them high. Keep that core engaged. As we begin, if you want to lift one foot off the ground and down, up. So alternate legs, 25 seconds to go. Squeeze into the glutes, holding that plank. Remember, you can be on your knees at this point. So we've got 10 seconds. Keep squeezing into those glutes and keep the hips pointing downwards. 3, 2, 1. Whew, knees down. Okay, back into that crab position. We've got 10 seconds, so hands pointing towards the feet. Lift ourselves up. So this is like being on all fours, but the other way up. Get that position, get it stable. Engage the core. Take a hand, touch the opposite shoulder, back and down. Hand to opposite shoulder, back and down. We're going to continue that for the 50 seconds, keeping those hips high. They might have to rotate a little bit, the hips, but try and keep them more or less pointing towards the ceiling. My shins should be vertical. My upper legs should be parallel to the floor. We've got 10 seconds. Keep rotating, touching the shoulder, back and down, touching the shoulder, back and down, touch, back. Whew, well done. Coming up in our 10-second break, we have got lunge jumps. So here we go. So jump. So your range of motion. And of course you can always step them. There's no compulsion to jump. If you want to put in more effort, go lower and really spring. If you don't want to do that, then just do a little lighter and less range of motion. Fantastic work. We're halfway. Is that all? Honey. So keep going on these. Alternatively, stop and have a drink. Your arms can be doing whatever they want to, but keep the hips hips level and keep the body vertical. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Down on the mat. Final plank. So this plank is on our forearms again. Knees or toes. Get that plank position. So engage the core, shoulders back, looking ahead. Now, if you're happy to do so, we are going to try and do Superman. Tap, 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 tap. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg. We're halfway. Holding. There, you can of course just hold the plank. Keep the hips pointing down. Hips down towards the floor. We've got 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was a tough one. Right. Lastly, into the crab position. So hands pointing to toes. Push up. Get that crab position established. Head as comfortable as you can be in this position. And from here, engage the core. Lift one leg straight. Lift it up a little bit more. Down. Tap. Down. Keep tapping that leg. We've got another 6 seconds on this leg. Same leg still. 3, 2, 1. Swap legs. Reset the hips. Lengthen that leg. Keep the hips high and level. Down, up. You can of course bend the legs. You can of course just hold the position. And if you don't want to be on the forearms, you can go down onto the forearms if you don't want to be on the wrists. And down. Oh, well done. That's the end of a rather tough set 4. Hi everyone, and welcome to set 5, the final set. So we're going to start standing, and we're going to do some sumo squats left and right. We're then going to go down on the mat and do crouching tiger to plank in a prone position. And finally we're going to go on our backs to do some chest raises, some bicycle crunches and some double leg crunches. So we've got 9 different exercises progressing through the cycle. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off, so just 9 minutes more of work. Are you ready to go? Here we go. So getting ready to sumo squat. We're starting off narrow. Hands up, squat wide and back. Step wide and back. So this is a squat, not a lunge. So our body weight remains in the center of the 2 legs. We're not leaning on the outer leg. We're keeping our body weight in the middle. Standard squat rules, of course. We're halfway through, by the way. So hips are back. We're going wide and low, but keeping our chest up. So we're feeling the stretch in the hips. We're feeling the stretch and push in the back of the body. We've got 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're coming down onto the mat. We are coming on, keeping the knees wide around mat width apart, and we're going to crouch like we did in the bear position, and we're just going to come forward and back and forward to plank, back, forward to plank. So this is quite tough again on the wrists. If you want, you can go gorilla, so we're on our forearms, we're on our knuckles, or you can go on the forearms. But what this is really working are the hips, opening out the hips, and the upper back, so the shoulders and upper back. As we control that movement, we've got 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going onto our back for chest raises. So here we go. 2, 1, knees are bent, hands lightly behind head, looking up at the ceiling, chin and eyes on the ceiling, lift up and down. So chest, chin and eyes fixed to the ceiling. When we come up, which will only be a few inches, we are hinging through the level of the tummy button. So hinge up and back down. So hinging up, we're halfway. Squeezing through that tummy button, we're hinging around there. Remember, we're not pulling up with the hands. The elbows are soft, the shoulders are down. It's the core, especially the front of the core, the rectus abdominis, that's doing all the work. So keep looking at that ceiling, keep squeezing away. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, back up to standing. We're going to do a sumo squat, but we're going to walk laterally. So get into that squat. We're wide. 2 steps. Keep in that squat. Keep the weight in the heels. And it starts off all right, but we're nowhere near halfway yet. So just keep low as you can, and then get a little bit lower. We're now halfway. Brilliant work. Excellent work. Now keep going left and right. I'm just trying to read my next exercises. There we go. So I know what I'm doing. 10 seconds to go. Keep low. Keep the chest up. Fantastic work. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Down on the mat in the prone position. Back into that crouch. We are coming and adding on. So knees wide. Crouch back. Crouching back. Coming forward. Knee to outside of elbow. Crouching back, forward, knee to outside of elbow. Back, forward, knee to elbow. Back, forward. Now the trouble, or the good thing with body weight exercises, is of course they do rely quite heavily on pushing up from plank positions, press up positions, because that's one way of working the upper body. We're either pushing or pulling. So if you do have trouble with the wrists, just try that gorilla position, or maybe try on the forearms. We've got 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. So on our backs, we're going to do some bicycle crunches. So one hand over another, elbows loosely visible, and we're going to crunch up the front of the body. So I'm lifting up to the top of my shoulder blades, my legs are coming up, and I'm touching elbow to knee, elbow to knee. So really stretch out your speed, engaging that core, keeping that lower back on the ground by lifting the head and shoulders off the floor. It's more difficult if you move your legs lower. Slightly easier, but not a lot if you move them higher. We've got 15 seconds left, but keep engaging that core. Stretching out, whichever you're doing, stretch and reach. 5, 3, 2, 1. Excellent, 10 seconds. So we're standing up again. We've got the last one of these sumo squats. So we're getting into the sumo squat position. We're coming wide and we're squat jumping. So just do a couple just to get the sumo squats. And now keep low and jump, jump, jump in that low position. So we're not using too much of the quads to push off. This is all about the lower legs. We're halfway. Obviously, if you want to change and do full jumps, of course you can. You can also just go back to doing standard squats. Or you can have a drink. We've got 15 seconds left. So if you are staying low, stay low and wide and open. We've got 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes. Excellent. Now, finally back into that crouching tiger. Again, we're working on these hips to keep them open. We're coming forward into a plank. This time, we haven't done a press up. So, this time, we're adding on a press up move. Obviously, you can drop down on your knees. You can do this on your forearms. When we go back, keeping the spine neutral, opening up the hips, coming forward into a perfect plank. Do a press up, come back up, back. We're halfway. Coming back, keeping that spine neutral. Press. So when you do a press up, the muscles that we're working, yes, of course, the arms, but mainly in the chest. So it's across the chest, you should feel it. There we go. Onto our backs for the very last exercise. So we've done no legs, we've done one leg. Now is the time for 2 legs. So suitcase crunch. So get that balance. Arms, easiest position for the arms actually is where I've got them. The reason is that they are pulling us and acting as a bit of a counterweight to help us get up. So this one is largely about core control, but also a little bit just about balance. Try balancing on the back of the coccyx, tilting the pelvis towards you, 20 seconds. Engage that core and shoulders down. We've got 10 seconds left. Remember, down with control as much as up with control. So same speed up, same speed down, same speed up, same speed down. There we go. Whew. Well done. That's all the 5 sets done. I'll see you for the cool down. Hello everyone. After that session, let's cool down. Okay, we're going to start with stretching off our calves. So I'm going to stand sideways on. We take a little step forward, both feet pointing towards the front, and I push my rear heel into the ground. I'm then going to hinge forward, lean forward from my hips, so I've effectively got a straight line between my ankle, my knee, my hip, and my shoulder. I keep pushing the back heel down, and you should feel a stretch in your calf muscles. Try pushing down both the outside of the foot and through the line of the big toe. There are 2 heads to the gastrocnemius, which is the calf muscle. We can work both by just rolling the foot from the outside to the inside and stretching and pushing down. If you're not feeling that stretch, just bend the front leg a little bit more, keeping that arrow shape, and still push that rear heel to the ground. Hold there for 3, for 2, for 1, and let's change legs. So stepping small step back, flex the front knee just slightly, keep pushing that rear heel into the ground as we make that arrow shape. So ankle, knee, hip and shoulder in a straight line. Roll the foot so you're pushing through the line of the big toe and then slightly through the outer line of the foot. Keep pushing that heel down the whole time, and if you need to, flex the front knee, hinge slightly further forward, keeping that straight line, keep pushing that heel down, and hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Excellent. So shake those off. We're now going to stretch the hamstrings, which is the top, back of the leg. So I'm going to bend one knee. I'm going to put my hands on the thigh. The other leg I'm going to extend out the front. The foot can be either on the floor or up. Doesn't matter which one, but it doesn't need to move. So whichever is comfortable to you, lean your weight slightly on this supporting leg and drop down. So you're feeling a stretch now down the back of this extended leg. If you're not getting as much stretch as you would like, imagine keeping that foot in position. Imagine pulling that hip backwards away from the foot. So we're trying to pull it back, And in the same way, we're lengthening through that hamstring. So lengthen through and hold and breathe into that stretch for 3, for 2, and for 1. Now swap legs. So flexing this leg, other leg extends out the front, hands supported on thighs, not near the knee, and just drop down into that stretch. Now if you don't feel it through your hamstring, fix that foot in position and imagine you're pulling that hip bone back. So you're tugging through that leg and you're feeling the pull on the hamstrings. And hold there and breathe into it for 3, for 2, for 1. Great work. So shake those off. We're now going to stretch the glutes. So this is a balance one. If you've got the back of a sofa, back of a chair that's solid, then grab hold of it now. Otherwise, cross one ankle over knee, drop down, hold that supporting leg, sink down, and you'll feel the stretch in the outer thigh and glute. So just feel that stretch a little bit lower, drop down, and the more stretch you get in the outer thigh. So hold there for 3, for 2, and for 1. Pushing back up. We'll now swap legs. So solid foundation, ankle over knee, and drop down. So just drop down to your level. You'll know when it is, you'll feel it in the outer thigh and the glute. So hold there. You can rest on that supporting thigh if you want, or alternatively hold onto a chair, sofa, something solid, and drop down. So feel that stretch and hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Excellent. So shake the legs off. We've then got my multi-way stretch now. So let us put our legs wider than hip width apart. My feet are at around 45 degrees. Okay, so this foot I'm going to lunge in this direction. This foot now goes to 45 degrees. This leg comes forward, so my foot is pointing to the front. I'm lunging to the side, so a sideways lunge, and I'm feeling the stretch through my inner thigh. So hold that and feel that stretch through the inner thigh. If you push the hip over slightly, you might feel it through the outer thigh as well. So we've got the inner thigh stretch. Now we're rotating the whole of the body to come over this leg. So I'm now facing in the direction I was lunging in. So here we go. I'm dropping a little bit lower. My rear heel is now off the floor, and I'm pushing my hips forward while keeping my spine neutral. I'm not arching the back, but I'm pushing all my hips forward to get a hip flexor stretch. While I'm here and holding this hip flexor stretch, I'm just going to bring the arms out the front, loosely just clasp them, and push the shoulders forward. So I'm stretching the neck, or the bottom of the neck, and the upper back. To increase that stretch, drop the head down slightly. So I'm now stretching through those upper back muscles that have worked very hard. Now drop the hands down. I'm going to hinge forward over this front leg, hands either side of the leg as my rear leg straightens. So I'm going to keep the hand that's near my instep on the floor. I'm going to rotate the other arm up to the ceiling. I'm going to twist my body round and look at it. Hold there, breathe into that stretch as we twist round the torso. Coming back down. So I've now got both arms either side of my foot. I'm now just going to try and straighten my front leg just a little. You don't need to go too far. You'll feel it in the hamstrings. And now release the hamstrings. Hinge the body back upright. And we're doing the same thing the other side. So this foot is now at 45 degrees. And this foot is now pointing to the front as I do a sideways lunge, feeling the stretch now in the inner thigh. So hold that lunge, maybe even push the hips slightly this way, so we're increasing that lunge. From here, I'm going to turn my body to face where the direction of my feet are. I'm going to drop a little bit lower as my knee is still off the ground and I'm feeling the stretch in my hip flexor. While I'm holding this hip flexor stretch, I'm taking my arms, bringing them round the back, clasping them lightly, not interlacing them, and pulling them backwards. So I'm now stretching through my chest and the top of my arms. So while holding that hip flexor stretch, hold for 2, for 1, and now release the arms, fold forward, hinge forward, hands either side of my front foot. Hands near the inception down, and turn and rotate the body to look up at the ceiling, looking at my upper hand. So hold here for 2, for 1. Both hands now down on the floor, either side of the front foot. I'm going to try and straighten that front leg just a little bit. Feel it in the hamstring, don't go too far. Now release. Now hinge upwards and come up to standing. And the very last stretch, quad stretch, the big muscles at the front. So secure surface, you may wish to hold on to something again. Put the top of the foot in the palm of the hand. Knees together. Hips pushing slightly forward, and you feel the squeeze down the front of the leg. If you don't feel it, then push the hand more strongly, or push the top of the foot more strongly into the palm of the hand. That way, you'll increase the stretch through the quads. So push that foot down into the hand and hold for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Shake that leg out and we'll do exactly the same the other side. So solid foundation, keep that supporting knee soft, top of foot into palm of hand, get the knees together, get the hips in line, and push those hips forward. If you're not feeling that stretch through the quads, then what you need to do is just press the top of that foot into the palm of the hand a little bit more solidly. Keep pressing down. You should now feel it through the front of the quads. So press for 3, for 2, for 1, and out. So shake off, and we're done. Good to see you. I look forward to seeing you next time. Keep well and stay safe.